Hello, everyone. Guess who's not cancelled? I swear. I swear. You know, having 100 subscribers or only around 100 subscribers really does have its advantages at times. I mean, it really does. Because you can get away with things like that. Good God. But, I guess you take it when you get it. But you don't have to worry. Unless you're so mad that you don't want to do anything ever again with me, I guess. No shooting, quote unquote, today. Or ranting, or venting, whatever you want to call what I did, I guess. None of that today. Maybe. No, it's not gonna happen, maybe, but... So, yeah, I know it's weird what I have up right now, and that's why I'm about to explain things. So it is already the end of the year. Can you believe it? God, they just fly by before you know it. I mean, yes, it's still only the second day of December as of this recording that I'm doing, but it's still technically the end of the year, the last month of the year, and for the most part at least, nothing else really happens for the rest of the year. Outside of the Game Awards, I suppose. That's assuming you count that, but other than that, there's nothing else that really happens. And at the end of last year, even though I didn't do a video for it, if you're in any of the same Discords that I'm in, which most aren't, I posted a bunch of quote-unquote bold predictions for this year, 2022. If you didn't see them, don't worry, I'm about to tell them to you right now because it's time for me to review the bold predictions that I made for this year, for 2022, also known as Mega's bold predictions for 2022. It's time for me to review them. I'm going to go over them one by one, except for one. But we'll get into that later. And we're going to go over if they were correct or incorrect. And I'll talk a little bit about each one. So yes, I made 7, technically speaking anyway, 7 bold predictions for this year that I thought was going to happen. Most of them were gaming related, but there was one that was not gaming related. I'm not restricting myself to just gaming when it comes to bold prediction. It can be anything. Anime, media, anything basically. They're just things that I honestly feel are more than likely to happen, in my opinion, based off of, just feelings, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, or just logical thinking, I suppose. Not that I'm saying that, you wouldn't come to these own conclusions yourself, because everyone is different, clearly, but this is just what I thought would happen this year and made the most sense to me in terms of what would happen this year. And that's it, really. I will be doing bold predictions for next year, obviously, 2023, but I'll be saving that for closer to the end of this month and the beginning of the year. So, for now, let's go over Megas, that's me, my bold predictions for 2022, what they were, and if they were correct or not. So let's get started, shall we? So, bold prediction number 1 for 2022 was the following. Digimon Survive will finally come out. And I do have notes here, and I do have it up. You just can't see it, because, you know, it's hard to do this and not have it up or written down or something. Next to it I have here, I don't have a guess as to when, but I think it'll finally happen. All signs point toward this way, at least. Oops. So, yeah, about this one. So we all know that this bold prediction was finally correct. Finally. Honestly, it wasn't even as if I was predicting it would come out for the last several years. God, having to say that out loud hurts. But, it was more so that, you know, a hope based off of, you know, stuff that came out about it. But I honestly did feel that it was going to finally come out this year. I was, understatement of the year coming up, extremely disappointed when they didn't reveal a release date for it at Digimon Con back in February. But it didn't matter because several months later, during the same week that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got reverse delayed. Imagine a game getting a reverse delay. It was announced for release this year, on the same day as Xenoblade Chronicles 3. R.I.P. But it doesn't matter. There was actually some news that came out about this recently, that it sold 500,000 units. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and I suppose technically it's not, but it's a hell of a lot better than I was expecting, I'll say that much. And I feel like you have to admit as much, or you take the wins when you get them, basically, okay? For someone who's a Digimon fan like me. So just give this one to me. Or don't. Who cares, honestly? But yes, my first bold prediction of the year was Digimon Survive finally coming out. And it was correct. It came out July 29th, 2022. When will I play it? Actually play it myself? Boy, I wish I knew. Let's just go with that year that I said Scarlet and Violet for, and that totally not controversial last thing I did. Let's just say 2024 to be safe because of my horrendous backlog. I don't know. That's my honest answer. I don't know. But time will tell. We'll see. I'd love to get to it sooner, trust me. But yeah. But yes, this was correct. Yay. Sorry, I don't know. Alright, bold prediction number 2. Oh, goody. Bold prediction number 2 was Final Fantasy 16 will come out. And then my notes here. Maybe. Release date. I don't know. November? Sure, let's go with that. So yeah, this one is also obvious by now. Unfortunately, this one was incorrect. I was hopeful. There was a lot of reports at the beginning of the year that it was close to completion, and I was hoping. But unfortunately, when it finally showed up again at the June Sony State of Play, we all found out, including myself, that I was way wrong and it's not coming out this year. So it was incorrect. The release is summer of 2023. And we will be getting a solid release date, a more specific one, at the Game Awards this year. I have heard from other videos from people who are better at this than me, I guess. No, they are. Um, from people who are better at this that supposedly, just supposedly, take this with mountains of salt, but supposedly the release date is June 22nd, which is apparently a Monday. I haven't looked that up. I'm assuming that's correct, but I don't know. We'll see. Kind of weird, because normally most of the games that I buy come out on like Tuesdays or Fridays. We'll see. That's it. But the point here is my prediction, my bold prediction about Final Fantasy 16 coming out this year was incorrect. Oh, it'll be fine. It's fine. I don't care. I got Digimon Survive. That was good enough for me, honestly. I did not mind one bit. And right now it's starting to look like there aren't really a lot of games coming out next year that I am interested in and want to buy and play, which is definitely a good thing considering my backlog. So this coming out next year is A-okay for me, most definitely. Okay. Oh boy. Bold prediction number 3. Why do I get deja vu? I'm just kidding. Bold prediction number 3 was the 2022 Pokemon game will be Generation 9. Release, and here's what I put in my notes. Release October or November of 2022. No, I don't know what the region will be based off of or what the starters will be like. This is the only thing that makes logical sense to me. Boy, those people who who said Generation 9 wasn't going to happen this year look like clowns, don't they? Of course, you know, those same people are probably gonna put a good, just A-plus comment saying, "It shouldn't have come out, clearly." You're right, it shouldn't have, okay? I will be the first to admit that to you, because you can't not admit it. You know, it's funny how a lot of my Pokemon predictions have ended up correct. I know I haven't really been coming out and saying what my predictions have been, but I assure you my last couple of predictions for Pokemon have been absolutely 100% correct. And just so we're all clear here, alright? Just so we're clear, this is something I forgot to mention in my quote-unquote shoot, rant, vent, whatever. At this point, they do need to break patterns, okay? No one is going to say that they shouldn't break patterns considering, or shouldn't break their pattern considering the situation. Literally no one is going to say they should continue the pattern. I am telling you right now, okay? They need to break their pattern. They do. Because they have become too predictable. Because right now, if they continue their pattern, that is, you can expect, and again, I'm going to be discussing this in a later video, but just to sort of wrap this up really quick, you can expect Scarlet and Violet DLC next year in 2023, another Johto remake, another Generation 2 remake in 2024. I don't know what it'll be. It could be Legends Johto, Legends Ho-Oh, Legends Celebi, Legends Lugia, or it could be a Let's Go Johto. Please, God, no for that last one. That's just me and my personal idiotic opinion, apparently, so I'm not going to say that their patterns shouldn't be broken, because if there's anything we've learned over the past 3 years, it's that they absolutely need to break their patterns, and I'm not going to argue that with anyone. They need to break them. I want them to break their patterns, okay? I do. In fact, guess what? I want to be wrong about a Pokemon prediction, okay? I really want to be wrong about a Pokemon prediction one year, okay? I do. I really, really do. But this just goes full circle. Yeah, I just made that reference. This goes full circle to what I said. They have no incentive to. 10 million units in 3 days. So, as long as they have no incentive to, which they don't and probably never will, because they know they can continue to get away with it, they're not going to change their patterns. They could. There's always the possibility that they could. And they should, as I just said. But right now, that's not the expectation, and it shouldn't be anyone's expectation. Okay? Okay, we're done. The point here is, I successfully predicted Generation 9 this year. Suck it. What? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, everyone who said Generation 9 wasn't going to happen this year look like clowns, and they're also going to say, well, it shouldn't have happened this year. Okay, yes, you're right, it shouldn't have happened this year, but it did, because they know they can get away with it, especially with 10 million units in 3 days. Here are your two choices. 1, don't buy the game, and find something else that you don't complain about every 5 seconds. 2, get a refund for the game. Get your goddamn refund, just like I said before. And then shut the hell up about it, okay? Don't buy the game, get a refund. Shut the hell up about it. Find something else that you can talk about and not complain about every 5 seconds, okay? Okay, we're done. The comments are already starting, aren't they? Oh well! I just love burning those bridges, I guess. But yes, this bold prediction was correct. It just came out in November 18th. So yeah, it was correct. Okay, we're done. Bold prediction number 4. This was what I would like to call quote-unquote a spicy prediction. And what I mean by that is it was a prediction that was less of a prediction, though there was some signs pointing towards it, honestly, and more of a hope. And good God, it was spot on, wasn't it? Bold prediction number 4 was Kingdom Hearts 4 will be announced. In my notes, I have a release window of 2023 here. But that was just a guess. I don't honestly think that, because that's way too soon. And this was last year, okay? So we're talking about a full year of when I originally made these predictions, so that I did not edit, just so you know. Or at least I didn't edit my notes. I wrote down if they were correct or incorrect, but that was it. But yes, this was correct. Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced in April during the 20th anniversary event, with no release date. Personally, I don't think it's going to be coming out until 2024 at minimum, but at maximum, oh god, at maximum we could be waiting until 2026 for it. Yikes! Let's hope that's not the case. We'll see. Time will tell. I was honestly shocked that this one was correct, because like I just said, it was more of a hope than an actual prediction. Though, like I said, there were a couple of signs here and there, especially from Nomura. I'm just kidding. We all love you, Nomura. I mean, you're a troll, but I'm just gonna stop. Anyway, But yeah, I was honestly shocked that this ended up being correct. I don't know when the release window is going to be. My new guess is 2024, at minimum. But it was correct, and I was shocked. Okay, the rest of these are not going to end so well. Okay, anyway. Bold prediction number 5. Speaking of 5. No, I already played it. Persona 6 will be announced, and I gave a release window of 2023. Yeah, this was way wrong. I'm going to show something really quick here about this. But before I do that, obviously this was wrong. They held their anniversary this year. I believe it was their 25th anniversary, I think. Well, here. Yes, 25th anniversary. And they held a bunch of events for their 25th anniversary this year. And as you can see from this forum, PSN Profiles, all credit goes to PSN Profiles. This was posted on July 13th of 2021 about their 25th anniversary events. And that, as you can see from the title... So can you blame me for making this prediction? I certainly can't. And it seemed like they were going to announce it from their 25th anniversary announcement and their teasing. Because this has all of the colors of the personas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But wait, what's this white one? And then there was this back in July of 2021. I mean, boy. Yeah. What I have for my notes here about it being incorrect was, honestly, I have no idea why they didn't announce it. I don't. As you can see from this thread on this forum, PSN Profiles, it was teased in June of last year, or July of last year. And honestly, it should have been a part of their announcements for the anniversary events. Because why the hell would you tease it otherwise? I'm sorry, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to explain it, feel free. I love learning new things. And having people get the better and tell me off or whatever, I guess. But yeah, it made no damn sense. Why would you even tease it if you're not going to announce it? That's the question that I have that I'm never going to get an answer for. So it is what it is, unfortunately. There's nothing else to really say about it. I don't understand why they teased it and then didn't announce and reveal it. But they didn't. It was a bunch of nonsense announcements and a bunch of ports to newer consoles, which is great, don't get me wrong. Even though I'm not going to play them because I still have my original PlayStation 2 versions and I don't see a reason to. It's great that they are porting them, okay? It is. I just don't really feel like playing it, buying them again when I already have it. I'm sorry, I don't. I didn't even buy Persona 5 Royal because it's the version of the game that's similar to Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And I didn't play either of those games. So I didn't play Persona 5 Royal. Did I make a mistake? Well, that's subjective, but to me I didn't. So I don't know why they teased it and didn't reveal it. You'd have to ask Atlas and Sega. Makes no sense to me. You want to explain it? Go right ahead. But this was way incorrect. Technically, it still could be announced. I doubt it's going to show up at the Game Awards. Again, I could be wrong. But I don't think that's the case because it's never been at the Game Awards before. There's always a first time for everything, obviously, but at this point, I don't think this is happening. I'm officially declaring this prediction incorrect. If for some reason something happens that ends up making it correct, I guess I will have to make another video stating as such, and I will. But right now, I don't see that happening, so. This next one, in all brutal honesty, is probably the most subjective of my bold predictions. And what I mean by that is you're going to get a different answer from everyone. You really are, because when it comes down right to it, gasp! It's all opinion related. And everyone's opinion is going to be different, obviously. If we haven't learned by now, I don't know if we ever will. So it's very, very subjective. It really, really was. And that's all I can say about it. Bold prediction number 6, and basically the final one here, is that Sonic Frontiers will be the first decent Sonic game in potentially a decade. Or let's just say a very long time. And obviously my notes here say, hard maybe. You think? So, this is why this is so subjective. Because you're going to get several different opinions from polling several different people. And unfortunately, let's be stupid here and try to do this without preparation, because that's what I'm good at. Let me see if I can find this article. Yeah. Look how easy that is. See, I can do things. Sometimes. No, don't play a video, please. Don't got time for videos. Even though I'm making one. It's stuck on that. Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. There was this article back in May 20th of this year, where Sega wanted Sonic Frontiers to receive high scores from reviews. Now the question is, did it? Well, there's only really one place you can look for reviews. I mean, yes, technically there are multiple different sites. Even Game FAQs has reviews. But the mostly used website for reviews, and you know what it is, that's right. It's Metacritic. Now look, I'd never believe reviews for anything, okay? I don't. I play a game for myself. I judge it for myself. That's it. And that's all I'm ever going to base my experience with a game on. Whether it's Sonic Frontiers or Balan Wonderworld. Boy, is that gonna be interesting. It's not my next game, but I'm just saying it's gonna be interesting. I don't care what the score is, what the meta score is from the critics, or what the user score is. I don't care what either say. I'm sorry, I don't. Is it just me? Sure, let's just go with saying it's just me. It's literally only me. Again. But that's just my personal preference and the way I do things. I play a game for myself, then I judge it for myself. That's it. Because when it comes to me in video games, games that have gotten bad scores I've liked. The most obvious example of this is Tales of Zestiria. And games that have received good scores I've hated. An example of this is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I didn't hate it, but I was disappointed in it. So, yeah. And everyone hated the Final Fantasy XIII trilogy. I loved it. Everyone hated Pokemon Sword and Shield. I loved it. Everyone hated Final Fantasy XV. I loved it. I hope I've gotten my point across now. The only example of a game getting high scores that I didn't like is honestly the only one that comes to my mind at this present time is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, but like I said, I didn't hate it, I was just disappointed in it. So I don't believe the critic scores or the user score, but unfortunately, when it comes to this specific prediction, and considering this article from May of this year, I have to base it off of it, whether I want to or not. And trust me, I don't want to. But I have too large and too long of a backlog to figure out if this is correct or not. If you think it's correct, say so. But as far as I'm concerned, this score, and yes, it doesn't show everything. Considering this article, sorry, I'm just trying to get my point across here and trying to defend my reasoning for what I'm about to say on if this bold prediction was correct or not. Considering this article and this score, if they wanted it to receive high scores from reviews, and I'm assuming that means critical reviews from critics, from Metacritic, this is not great. I don't know what the score on other Sonic games is. I'm not about to look it up. I'm assuming it might be around the same, maybe a bit better. But the simple fact of the matter is, this is not great. I'm sorry, it's not. Yellow means average, or mid if you want to use that word, which I don't really like, but it's a word that is used. It's not great. I'm sorry, it's not. So, for me personally, and again, this is just me, okay? If you want to think differently, that's fine. If you want to try to convince me otherwise, have at it. But as far as I'm concerned, my bold prediction about Sonic Frontiers being the first decent Sonic game in potentially a decade or at least a very long time, I'm sorry, but I can't in good conscience declare this correct. I can't. I'm sorry. So as far as I'm concerned, this is incorrect. But at the end of the day, like I literally just said, it's subjective at the end of the day. Everyone's opinion is going to be different no matter who you ask. But when you think about it, considering the article that I just showed you, that Sega wanted it to be a quote-unquote critical success, and the quote-unquote critical scores don't have it as such, I can't declare this as anything but incorrect. Does it mean it's a bad game? No. Again, like I said, you're going to get different answers from different people. I'll let you know how I feel about the game when I get to it. Again, let's assume 2024. In fact, if you want me to that badly, I will make a video in 2024 when I'm done with this game to let you know how I feel about it, okay? Someone remind me in 2 years or whenever I get around to it. I don't really consider myself the best critic. Well, I say that, and I'm going to have some pretty interesting things to say about a certain anime. Stay tuned. But at times I can be a good critic. But for the most part, if I like a game, I like it. And that's really all there is to it. And I'm not really going to say anything else. Because believe it or not, and despite previous videos that may or may not, or should or should not have been done, I don't like being negative. I know that's hard to believe, and I know that's not the perception and not what it seems like, but I'm telling you, I don't like being negative. But based off of what Sega themselves said they wanted and this critic score, I can't in good conscience declare my bold prediction about Sonic Frontiers being the best Sonic game in a really long time, potentially in a decade, as correct. It's incorrect, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my personal feeling on it and my personal opinion on it. I just can't say it's correct in good conscience, in an unbiased way, or as unbiased as I can be right now without having to actually play the game. But feel free to tell me otherwise if you want. My last bold prediction, number 7, I don't even want to talk about it. All you really need to know is that it was wrestling related, and it was way wrong. In fact, the exact literal opposite ended up happening. That's all I'm going to say about it. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. It was wrong. I'm moving on with my life. So that's all I have to say about that. God. So that's it. That's my review of my bold predictions for 2022. So let's see. Overall, 3 correct, 4 incorrect. Out of 7, that's 43% correct. I mean, it's not great, and it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I can tell you right now, my 2023 ones are going to be better. Again, I'll get into that at a later time. But for now, my bold predictions for this year, they weren't great. They were bad. But each year is different. We'll see what happens in 2023. So just as a final review, my bold predictions were for this year was Digimon Survive will finally come out. This was correct. Came out July 29th, 2022. Bold prediction 2 was Final Fantasy 16 will come out. That was incorrect. It's coming out summer 2023. Bold prediction number 3 was the 2022 Pokemon game will be Generation 9. This was correct. It came out November 18th. Bold prediction number 4 was Kingdom Hearts 4 will be announced. This was shockingly correct, with an unknown release date, back announced in April of this year. Bold prediction number 5 was Persona 6 will be announced. Massively incorrect, which makes no sense to me. And bold prediction number 6 was Sonic Frontiers will be the first decent Sonic game in a really long time, potentially a decade. And I can't in good conscience declare this correct because of the Metacritic scores and the article that Sega wanted it to receive high scores from reviews. So as far as I'm concerned, and it's subjective at the end of the day, it's incorrect. And bold prediction number 7 was something I made out of frustration, and it was way incorrect. So, that's it. This has already been going on for 40 minutes now. Good God. So that's all for my that's my review of my bold predictions for 2022. In a couple weeks, I will start doing my end of the year awards for anime, video games, and yes, I will make another video giving you my bold predictions for 2023. That's all I got for you. This has gone on long enough. Not the best predictions, but oh well, I guess. Some were correct, some were shockingly correct. But when people make predictions, I feel like that's a good overall, review of predictions. Some are correct, some are incorrect. So it's just unfortunate that, most of mine were incorrect. I'm not a psychic, believe it or not. But yeah. This is Megachamp saying once again that next time I'll be providing you with more unlimited guidance.